This is Darren Merchant with American Nomad News with a little update, and sorry for my, rough appearance. I just realized there's like hair sticking out of where my ear looks like it's at. And I'm knocking down my headphones, which I don't really need at the moment. So, it is raining today. It is sloppy wet outside. And I've been working on trying to figure out how to explain certain things about space that I find very important. And a lot of what this channel has been is an ongoing, totally, honestly amateur, from the point of I'm broke, I'm homeless, and most people would just figure nothing can happen and they would not do anything. And part of what I want to do is in response to some of the video channels I've found of homeless people like myself attempting to do something with YouTube. There's actually homeless cooking channels out there, as some of you know. I think some of my subscribers might be some of those same folks. And I hope they are. Because part of what I'm doing with this channel is experimenting with the process and learning about YouTube and how to survive in YouTube when I have all these disadvantages, and there are very powerful disadvantages. And the core reason that I want to communicate with the wider world is I've spent my life studying space and other subjects that are part of, I was inspired to learn these other subjects, these other aspects of the subject that is everything, because of the stimulation that I had as a child to learn about space and what that means for me. The problem being, for a long time, I thought, okay, if I can get a desktop computer, I can get a laptop computer that's significantly strong enough, and I can put Blender on it, and I can do this thing, and I can create these images, and I can show people, look, this is what's important to me. I have this thing in my head, and it's a very powerful thing, and it's very graphic oriented, and words don't convey what I need. I kept trying to arrange a chance to get into a library where they have the write erase boards and get online and talk to libraries into putting Blender on the computer, which would be a really excellent thing to put on these computers. None of these people would cooperate with me. The equipment failed me in so many ways, so often, and I just can't quit. It's too important. I see so many reasons it's important that I can't even explain to people. I know my camera's like shaking all over the place. Sorry about that, folks. It's too important. And I can't even begin to explain why it's important, because of all these interviews that I've done, the vast majority of which were never filmed or recorded in any particular way. And I've seen others in the world put in play some of the concepts that I was harping about for years, because some of this stuff is fairly obvious to people who really pay attention, but general public who are, if you can't get the general public to respect, understand, and support your idea, that's a real tough go. It really is. The best way to make a big idea happen is start from the perspective that you really have to reach a broad audience and explain, why is this useful for them? Why is this non-threatening, extra, super beneficial? How do you do that? Well, in the last few days, I've realized that if I don't have any access to graphics, computer graphics, well, what I'm going to use is something that every homeless guy who ends up hungry and there's no food banks around, it's the holidays or whatever, and they figure out they want something that you can only get with money, and the only thing they have access to is markers and cardboard. They draw up a sign and they fundraise. They build advertising and they fundraise for what they need or for what they want. And the public responds in accordance with, you know, their thoughts and their considerations on this idea. So I decided to flip this. Okay, and I've been experimenting lately with public service messages and building up an understanding of how can I advertise to the public in a way that doesn't get cut off, doesn't get minimized, doesn't get, you know, some admin in some tech company decides we have a rule against this and callously just cuts me out, right? Well, okay, so I have a YouTube channel and I'm not doing anything that they can bounce me for, and I'm flying a sign on the interstate like so many homeless do when they want to get a beer. Well, I don't drink. I'm passionate about space. I'm passionate that people should put down the cell phone and put both hands on the wheel. I'm passionate about some of these things, and I'm respectful. I don't want, you know, to offend people. I want them to understand I care. There's this concern I have, and so today's message is to tell you to hold on and be patient with me. The plan is, when I get some cardboard that's clean and dry, because wet cardboard does not work with these markers. It will totally destroy the marker. Once the marker's wet, it just won't draw. And I'll start to build the graphics that I need in order to teach the lessons regarding to my thoughts on space infrastructure and how we can make that work. So thank you so much for your patience, and I super value the 57 subscribers that I have. They're what the industry calls early adopters, and I think that's fantastic. I think every one of you is just glorious and very important to me. And please share, like, and comment. Please, I don't get enough comments. Thank you. This is American Nomad News, Darren Marchant, signing off.